I never thought a simple weekend getaway would turn into the most terrifying experience of my life. My name is Gabriel. I'm 19 years old, and until that October night, I was just another college student looking for adventure and fun. Now, 2 months later, I still wake up in a cold sweat, haunted by those straw eyes that seemed to watch me in the darkness. It all began when my friend Raphael, who always had this obsession with exploring abandoned places, came to our group with an irresistible proposal: spending a weekend at his grandfather's farm, which had been uninhabited for more than 5 years. The property was deep in the countryside, far from the city, and according to him, it would be the perfect spot for our horror adventure before Halloween. "Just imagine," Raphael said, his eyes gleaming with excitement, "an old, isolated farm full of stories. It's going to be epic." Our group was made up of 5 people: me, Raphael, Marina, my girlfriend at the time, Lucas, the skeptic of the group, and Amanda, the bravest of us all, always up for any challenge. We all agreed immediately. We were young, reckless, and hungry for thrills. We set off on Friday afternoon, driving almost 3 hours until we reached the property. The farm was exactly as Raphael had described: isolated, surrounded by harvested cornfields and dotted with several scarecrows scattered across the land. The main house was an old wooden structure with a wide porch and dark windows that seemed to stare at us. "Dude, this place is perfect for a horror movie," Marina said, half nervous, half excited. Lucas, always practical, started unloading our things from the car. "At least there's electricity," he said, pointing at the wires running to the house. While the others got organized, I stood staring at the scarecrows. There were about a dozen of them spread across the field, all dressed in old, tattered clothes, straw hats, and faces made of burlap sacks. There was something unsettling about them, a feeling I couldn't explain. They seemed more lifelike than I expected. My grandfather was always very meticulous with these scarecrows, Raphael explained, noticing my interest. He used to say that the more realistic they looked, the better they scared off the crows. We spent the first night exploring the house, telling ghost stories, and playing cards by candlelight. The electricity worked, but Amanda insisted candles would give a more haunted vibe. The house was surprisingly well preserved, with antique furniture covered in white sheets and yellowed photographs hanging on the walls. It was Marina who found Raphael's grandfather's diary in one of the bedrooms. The pages were yellowed with time, but still legible. Most of the entries talked about farm life, planting, harvesting, but some pages caught our attention. "The crows are getting smarter. I had to make new scarecrows, more realistic. I used old clothes from Jonas, the farmhand, who worked here before he disappeared. Strange how the clothes fit the dolls so well. The scarecrows seemed to be in different positions each morning. I must be getting old, but I swear the one at the edge of the north field wasn't facing the house yesterday. Tell you how to dream of Jonas last night. He was standing in the middle of the field, still as a scarecrow. When I woke up, I went to the window and saw a figure in the exact same spot from my dream. It was just one of the dolls, of course. But for a moment, "That's creepy," Amanda muttered, reading over my shoulder. Who was this Jonas? Raphael shook his head. Never heard of him. My grandfather never mentioned any missing farmhand. We decided it was just the imagination of an old, lonely man. But the seed of unease had already been planted. On Saturday, we explored the property more thoroughly. In the daylight, under the blazing sun, the Scarecrows looked harmless, almost comical, with their old clothes swaying in the breeze. We had a barbecue on the porch, took pictures, and for a few hours, we completely forgot about the strange diary entries. It was Lucas who noticed something odd first. We were playing soccer in the field when he suddenly stopped, staring at one of the Scarecrows. "Guys," he said slowly, "I'm pretty sure that Scarecrow over there had its hat on this morning." We looked where he pointed. The Scarecrow's hat was now lying on the ground by its straw feet. "The wind must have knocked it off," Marina suggested, though her voice sounded unsure. "There hasn't been any wind all day," Amanda replied firmly. We went to investigate. Up close, the Scarecrow was even more disturbing. The clothes were old but high quality, and something about the way they hung gave me chills. The burlap face was partially torn, revealing straw underneath, but the eyes were just hollow holes, yet they seemed to watch me. "Let's just put the hat back," Raphael said, trying to sound casual. But when he bent down to pick it up, we all saw them. Footprints in the dirt around the Scarecrow. Boot prints, the size of an adult man's. The rest of the afternoon was spent investigating. The footprints didn't lead anywhere. They simply appeared around the Scarecrow and vanished. No trail of someone arriving or leaving. "There has to be a logical explanation," Lucas insisted, but his confidence was clearly shaken. We checked the other Scarecrows. To our horror, we found similar footprints around 3 more of them. Always the same pattern. Boot prints appearing and disappearing mysteriously in the dirt. That night, Marina suggested we leave, but Amanda and Raphael insisted on staying. "We're not letting a few straw dolls scare us," Amanda declared, though I could see the nervousness in her eyes. We decided to take turns keeping watch through the night, just in case. Lucas and Amanda would guard until midnight. Then Raphael and I would take over until dawn. Marina, visibly shaken, stayed inside to rest. Lucas and Amanda took their post on the porch with a clear view of the field. I tried to sleep, but couldn't. I lay listening to the night sounds. Crickets, the rustle of trees, the creaks of the old house. Around 11:30, Amanda screamed. I ran to the porch, followed by Raphael and Marina. Lucas was pale, pointing at the field. "It moved," Amanda whispered. "I swear it moved." "Which one?" I asked, straining to see in the dark. "That one, by the barn. It was facing north. Now it's facing us." I grabbed a flashlight and shone it in the direction she pointed. The Scarecrow was there, motionless, seemingly facing us, but it was hard to tell. In the darkness, they all seemed to be watching us. "Go check it." Marina trembled. "No way," Lucas snapped. "If something weird is going on, we're not splitting up." We stayed awake the rest of the night, watching the field. At times, I could swear I saw faint movements, shadows shifting among the scarecrows. But whenever we shone the light, we found only motionless figures. The morning revelation. When the sun rose, we all went to check the field together. What we found left us in shock. Every scarecrow had changed positions during the night. Where they had once been scattered randomly, now they formed a perfect circle around the house, all facing us. And there was something even more disturbing. Footprints. Dozens of them, crisscrossing the field, as if several people had been walking through the crops all night long. "This isn't normal," Marina whispered. "We need to leave now." But as we prepared to go, Raphael made a discovery that changed everything. In the barn, behind some old tools, he found a box of documents. Among them was a police report from 5 years earlier about the disappearance of Jonas Mendes, the farmhand. According to the report, Jonas had mysteriously vanished one night, leaving behind only his work clothes. The investigation was closed due to lack of evidence, but there was a strange note at the end. Witnesses reported seeing a figure walking through the field on the night Jonas disappeared. But when they went to check, they found only scarecrows. We didn't wait for more explanations. We quickly packed our things and ran to the car. But when we got there, every tire had been slashed. "Someone doesn't want us to leave," Amanda said, trying to stay calm. Raphael's cell phone had no signal, and the house phone was dead. We were trapped. That's when we noticed. The scarecrows were no longer in a circle around the house. They were closer now, some just a few meters from the porch. And as we watched in horror, we realized they were moving. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, but they were moving inside the house. I shouted, "Now!" We locked ourselves inside, shutting every door and windows. Through the cracks in the curtains, we could see the scarecrows inching closer and closer. Some were already on the porch. What followed was the longest night of our lives. The scarecrows surrounded the house completely. We could hear footsteps on the porch, scratching at the windows, hands trying the doors. But they never forced their way in. They just circled the house, like guards on patrol. In Raphael's grandfather's diary, we found more notes we had missed before. "Jonas came to visit me last night, or at least, I think it was Jonas. He looked different, stiffer, and smelled of damp straw. He said he is part of the farm now, that he protects the land from intruders. When morning came, there was a new scarecrow in the field. They protect me now. As long as I take care of the farm, they'll take care of me. But if I leave, if I abandon this place, they will come for me." The last entry was written the week before his death. "I'm old and sick. I can't take care of the land the way it deserves. I'm going to the city to live with my son. I hope they understand. I hope they forgive me." We realized then the grandfather had broken some kind of pact, and by coming here, we had awakened the wrath of the farm's guardians. When the sun rose, the footsteps stopped. Through the window, we watched as the scarecrows retreated back to their original spots in the field, as if nothing had happened. We waited an hour before stepping outside. The car was intact. The tires were mysteriously whole again. It was as if everything had been a collective nightmare, except for the footprints in the dirt and the straw handprints on the windows. We left in silence. None of us spoke about what happened until we reached the city. And even now, months later, we rarely mention it. I later learned that Raphael sold the farm right away, never returning. The new owner turned it into a vacation home community. The last news I heard was strange. Residents complained of constant nightmares, and some reported seeing figures walking through the gardens at night. They removed all the scarecrows when the houses were built. But sometimes, when I can't sleep, I wonder, where are Jonas and the others now? Did they find a new home? Or are they still wandering, looking for land to protect? One thing I know for sure. I will never look at a scarecrow the same way again. And if you ever find yourself on an isolated farm, surrounded by those silent guardians, remember my story. Some lands choose their own protectors, and once chosen, they protect forever.